SKOL Vikings, let's win this game.
Attention Vikings fans, get ready for a series of revelations straight out of Minnesota. The purple wall shakes with a medical alert on defense, but the offense finds an unexpected path on the ground that could redefine the entire season. But it doesn't stop there. A rookie on the line explodes on the field and becomes an unlikely sensation, leaving analysts speechless. On the other side, respect shows up in the power rankings with a leap that changes the league's entire perception, and behind the scenes, a silent move emerges in the backfield with a running back swap that could bring a surprise. Every detail is decisive, every choice carries weight. Welcome. Show your Vikings support with a like and a comment. The offense will need balance, but the first news today makes it clear that the heaviest burden has fallen on the defense. Fans who were excited about the trip to Dublin now hold their breath. Andrew Van Ginkel did not show up to practice, and the official injury report confirmed his absence. And it's not just any absence, it's a neck issue that has been bothering him since training camp. That puts his presence against the Steelers in doubt. Meanwhile, Javon Hargrave showed positive signs and returned to practice. C.J. Ham was also out there, and even Darisaw had his scheduled rest day. But the big question is, without Van Ginkel, what happens to the pass rush? Dallas Turner has already shown energy and promising numbers, but carrying the load of a veteran who, in just 8 snaps, managed 2 sacks and 1 quarterback hit is another story. O'Connell said it's not the same injury as last week, but fans know when a Pro Bowler appears twice in a row as DNP, the red flag lights up fast. It's the kind of suspense that completely changes expectations for Sunday. And even though the offensive line could use reinforcements, all eyes are locked on the purple wall. Can Turner really shoulder this weight right away? Or will the Steelers feel that absence and exploit that very weakness? And while this cloud hangs over the defense, another story begins to rise on the other side of the ball, one that could change the face of the offense. When it comes to a shift in offensive identity, many fans roll their eyes because they've heard promises before and not always seen results on the field. But something different is happening. Jordan Mason, acquired in a trade that seemed irrelevant back in March, is turning into the most talked-about name in the offense. Against the Bengals, he steamrolled defenders, racked up tough yards, and punched in 2 touchdowns that had the crowd on its feet. It's no exaggeration to say fans already feel that vibe of "we found our guy," and it changes the way the Vikings can approach the entire season. Without Carson Wentz having to throw 50 passes a game, Mason becomes the foundation. When McCarthy returns, the pressure will be lighter on his shoulders because the running game will finally carry credibility. And it's not just hype. The numbers put Mason among the top 4 running backs in efficiency across the entire NFL so far, something Minnesota hasn't seen since the prime days of Dalvin Cook. For those who follow stats, EPA per carry leaves no doubt. Mason is among those adding wins through the run game. For fans, what really matters is watching opposing defenses get punished play after play, and that's exactly what happened in Cincinnati. The question is, can this pace hold up against a traditionally tough defense like the Steelers? Analysts are already calling for another explosive week, especially with Aaron Jones sidelined. It's that feeling that the unexpected turned into the solution, and the unexpected shakes the locker room, the fan base, and even the commentators who once doubted O'Connell's ability to reinvent this offense. But if Mason's rise has fans fired up, the defense also holds a surprise no one saw coming. It's not always the biggest star who shifts the course of a defense, and the Vikings just proved it again. After trading Harrison Phillips to the Jets, many questioned the decision. How do you let go of a reliable run-stopping pillar? The answer came faster than any analyst could predict. Levi Drake Rodriguez. A 7th-round pick hardly anyone expected to shine has become the talk of Minnesota. Against the Bengals, this 300-pound wrecking ball made life miserable for the backup quarterback, stacking up impact plays that had the crowd roaring like he was a seasoned vet. And it's not just about energy. The metrics confirm he's already among the most efficient at stuffing runs and generating interior pressure. It's the kind of story only the NFL delivers. A player almost forgotten in the draft, with that unmistakable flowing hair and an endless motor, turning into a key piece in a star-loaded front 7. The sweetest detail? This rise proves the front office's gamble made sense. Clear a path for the younger generation to shine. Now, the defense has an extra name to scare off any opponent who thinks about challenging the trenches. Fans who doubted the trade with the Jets are already admitting Kwesi Adofo-Mensah may have found another hidden gem. The atmosphere is all about discovery, surprise, and anticipation because if Rodriguez keeps playing at this level, the Vikings haven't just gained depth. They may have uncovered a new weapon for decisive games. What looked like a risky move now feels like a stroke of genius. And that leaves everyone asking, How far can this kid go? And if individual surprises are already shifting perception, national recognition came in the form of the rankings. Respect isn't asked for, it's earned. And that's exactly what the Vikings ripped from ESPN after demolishing the Bengals. A 7-spot leap in the power rankings, jumping from 20th straight up to 13th. For those who saw the team questioned after the loss to the Falcons, this turnaround shows how quickly the narrative can flip in just 1 week. The detail is that the respect came even with the injury list weighing heavy. Harrison Smith, Van Ginkel, Okudah, Hargrave, and Cashman were all sidelined at key moments, yet the defense still leads the NFL in efficiency per play. That stat impressed analysts. The Purple Wall didn't just hold, it dominated, even without crucial veterans. Kevin Seifert highlighted the dilemma. The mix of injured vets and young players stepping up is a risk that could either sink or transform this team into a real powerhouse. The schedule now presents a rare opportunity. Come back from the road trip at 4-1 before the bye week. Imagine the morale in the locker room hitting that point with key veterans ready to return. The climb in the rankings is symbolic. It guarantees nothing in January, but it signals that Minnesota isn't just showing up, it's competing among the big boys. For fans, it's the validation that was missing after so much doubt and so many critics. But it's also fuel to keep pushing. Because every step up that ranking is a warning shot to the rest of the league. Underestimate the Vikings at your own risk. And the feeling is, this is only the beginning of the climb. And if respect was earned on the field, behind the scenes, a quiet move also took place. One that could surprise down the line. Sometimes the most discreet moves hide the most interesting stories. While Jordan Addison's return grabbed the headlines, the Vikings quietly made a backfield swap that could pay off in the future. Out goes Xavier Valade, in comes Corey Keener, a name that doesn't jump out at first glance, but one that carries consistent production from his college days. Fans who like to look beyond the stars should notice. At LSU and later at Cincinnati, he showed the ability to break tackles and pick up yards even without elite burst. He's that compact runner, 5 feet 9 inches and 209 pounds, tough to bring down on first contact. The curious detail, he once shared a college locker room with Ivan Pace, now one of the anchors of the Purple defense. That connection could smooth his adjustment. Of course, Kiner probably won't see the field soon unless injuries pile up. Today, Jordan Mason is the undisputed workhorse, Xavier Scott holds steady as the immediate backup, and Aaron Jones, along with Ty Chandler, remain on injured reserve. Cam Akers, back on the practice squad, could be active on Sunday. So what's the logic of this move? Depth. The front office understands the NFL season is a marathon, and running back is a position where you can never have too many bodies. Fans may see it as extra insurance, but those paying attention know sometimes bad luck on the roster opens the door for an underdog to shine. Analysts describe Kiner as lacking speed but dependable in consistency. For a team searching for a ground game identity, even a behind-the-scenes piece could become part of the puzzle. If he never leaves the practice squad, it'll just be another minor bet. But if the chance comes, his physical style and resilience might win him a role. It's the kind of reinforcement that arrives without fanfare but leaves you asking, did the Vikings just stash an unexpected card up their sleeve? So, Vikings fans, look at the roller coaster we just went through. Concern with Van Ginkel, renewed hope with Mason, a shocking breakout from Rodriguez, national respect in the rankings, and even a sneaky backfield move. This is the Vikings showing that every week brings drama, resilience, and opportunity. But none of this makes sense without you, the fans, the energy that powers this team. Now is the time to support, question, and debate, because this journey doesn't end here. Which story grabbed your attention the most, and what other moves does this team still need to make? Drop a comment, share this video, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned. SKOL Vikings. Let's go.